right, y'all. Welcome back to P Hood Talks, the economic war room, where we break down the world in a language that the streets understand. If you tuned in right now, that means you're still fighting, still pushing, still trying to make sense of a world that doesn't make sense back, right? This episode right here, we diving into the 5 fronts of the struggle, the 5 economic battles the hood fighting every single day. And I ain't talking theory. I'm talking real life, real bills, real pressure, real consequences. We gonna talk groceries. We gonna talk gas. Yes, indeed. We definitely gonna speak on rent and paychecks. And we gonna talk about survival, which is the hood's superpower. And later on, we gonna slide into a neutral breakdown of what's being reported about Governor Jeff Landry. What supporters say, what critics say, and how folks claim his moves hit lower income communities. Let me ask y'all something. When did the grocery store turn into the new luxury mall? When did buying food start feeling like applying for a loan? Let's talk about it. Let's start with the grocery store, the new luxury mall. You walk in for bread and eggs and come out with a receipt that looks like you financed something.
Oh my
And
God!
the crazy part, you ain't even buy nothing special. Just the basics, just the stuff you need to survive. You ever walk in with a list, but the list don't even matter no more because the prices got you negotiating with yourself in the aisles like, do I really need this juice? Can I stretch chicken for 3 days? Can I make spaghetti last until Thursday if I add enough sauce? That's the hood math we doing now. And listen, this ain't in your head. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics report grocery prices jumped over 25% between 2020 and 2025. 25%? Groceries going faster than your kids. And then you got the food desert situation. The USDA says over 18 million Americans live in food desert, mostly in black and low income neighborhoods. That means some folks gotta take 2 buses just to find fresh produce. 2 buses for lettuce, 2 buses for fruit, 2 buses for anything that ain't wrapped in plastic and sitting under a heat lamp. And when you finally get to the store, the prices hit you like a brick in the face. A pack of chicken wings costs more than a whole meal. A gallon of milk feel like a luxury item. And eggs out here acting like they got a sponsorship deal.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
And then you got shrinkflation. Pay more for less, the bag smaller, the box lighter, the chips barely covering the bottom. It's like the store playing hide and seek with your money. In the hood, we already stretching meals. We already switching brands. We already doing math in the aisles like we studying for finals. Healthy food costs more than junk. A salad costs more than a burger. This ain't inflation, this extortion with a barcode. And Baton Rouge feeling it too. Even corner stores raising prices. You walk in for a bag of chips and a drink, and suddenly you spending money like you at a sit-down restaurant. The other day I went into the liquor store across the street from me, get a Alani Peach and a Red Bull. All of a sudden that shit $10. That's crazy. So if groceries hitting like that, what's next? What's the next front in this economic war? Let's talk about it. The one thing you can't avoid, gas. Real question. When did filling up your tank start feeling like a gamble? Like you need to check your bank account and your spirit before pulling up to the pump? Gas prices out here acting like they got a personal vendetta against the hood. Every time you pull up to the pump look back at you like, you sure you want to do this? And the wild part is, it ain't even about how far you driving. It's about how far the world is wilding. AAA reports gas prices rose over 40% from 2021 to 2025. That's not a bump. That's a whole personality change. And every time something happens somewhere in the world, gas prices jump like they're trying to get drafted into the Olympics. You wake up one morning and the price went up 20 cents overnight, like it had a mood swing or some shit. Nope. And the hood ain't got Teslas lined up. We driving real cars with real mileage, cars with names like Lucille, LaQuisha, and Lord, please let us make it to our destination before we break down. Cars that need gas like they drinking. You ever put $20 in your tank and watch the needle move like it's tired? Like it's doing you a favor. You standing there like, bro, I know I put money in you. Why you acting shy? And here's the part that folks don't always realize. The Department of Transportation says over 45% of low-income workers travel more than 10 miles to work. That's not optional driving. That's survival driving. That's I gotta get to this job or the lights go off driving. And further in today's news, y'all, circulating reports say a cruise ship had to dock early after a virus outbreak on board left hundreds of passengers sick. Health officials say it was fast-spreading gastrointestinal virus, and the ship had to undergo a full sanitation protocol before passengers could disembark. No opinions, no drama, just what's being said. But events like that remind you of how fast things can shift in the world, and every time something big hits, the news, the markets get nervous, the gas prices start acting funny, and Baton Rouge ain't safe from it either. Folks commuting from Scotlandville to Prairieville feeling it. Folks driving from North Baton Rouge to LSU feeling it. Folks working 2 jobs on the opposite sides of the city feeling it. Gas got everybody budgeting like they running a Fortune 500 company. And let's be real, gas prices don't just hit your tank, they hit everything. Delivery fees go up, Uber prices go up, groceries go up because trucks cost more to run. It's a domino effect, and the hood always standing at the end of the line catching every piece. So if gas draining pockets like that, what about the place you lay your head? Let's talk about rent, the silent assassin. Let me ask you this. When did rent start acting like it got dreams of being a celebrity? And why it keep going up like it's trying to get verified or some shit? Rent going up like it's trying to join the NBA draft, y'all. Zillow reports rent prices rose 29% nationwide between 2020 and 2025. That's almost a third. Bud says 1 in 4 renters spend over half their income on rent. Half! That means you're working full-time just to pay for the privilege of having a roof. Bruh. You ever open that renewal letter and just stare at it like it personally offended you? Like, bro, what did I do? I've been quiet, I pay on time, I don't even complain when the AC sound like a helicopter. And the landlord still hit you with that due to market conditions? Like, bro, what market? The Hunger Games? And Baton Rouge got its own flavor of this. Downtown been adding new small businesses, new cafes, new creative studios, new restaurants. Supporters say it brings jobs. Critics say parking's still trash and the hood's still waiting on a real investment. And every time something new opens downtown, rent in the surrounding areas start acting brand new too. Like, oh, you got a new coffee shop. Cool. That'll be $200 extra. And the building's not improving. Same carpet from 1998, same stove that sound like it's fighting for its life, same fridge humming louder than the neighbor's car. People getting priced out of neighborhoods they grew up in. Whole families pushed out because the rent decided to go up. And I'm sure y'all already know I couldn't leave my city out. Even though I'm reporting live from down here in Louisiana, Pontiac always gonna be a part of the conversation. I stay tapped in with what's happening back home because the moves they make still hit the people on the ground. From the hood to the workers, the families that keep the city standing, y'all. So listen, let's talk facts. Pontiac been pushing heavy on that downtown revitalization wave. Over $170 million going into new buildings, street redesigns, and bringing county workers back into the city. Ain't that something? That means more foot traffic, more business, and more chances for blue-collar folks to get steady work in construction trades and city projects. Now, crime, Pontiac been seeing a slow decline in violent crime over the last few years. Homicides and aggravated assaults been trending downward, which is a win. But the hood's still dealing with property crimes, especially car thefts, break-ins, and catalytic converter hits. What is it with people stealing catalytic converters? A lot of residents been saying they want more community policing, more youth programs, and more visibility in the neighborhood. Not just downtown where the money is flowing. Economically, Pontiac's population been sitting around 60,000, but the city's been trying to preserve years of job loss by bringing in new development and small business incentives, y'all. Unemployment dropped compared to the early 2010s, but a lot of folks still working hourly, blue-collar jobs with not enough upward mobility. That's why these new projects matter if they actually hire local. And fun fact, for anybody who didn't know, and it's new to me, DDG, the content creator, turned rapper that's blowing up on YouTube and on the charts right now, yeah, he's from Pontiac too. The city got talent, got history, and got potential. Just make sure the people who built it get to enjoy the glow up too. This is P Hood Talks, and the music that you hear in the background, I do not own rights to. And I am reporting live from Louisiana, but always repping the hometown. Be honest, you ever get paid and feel broke at the same time? Like your check didn't even stretch. It just waved at you and left. The Federal Reserve reports real wages have barely moved in 15 years, y'all. Meanwhile, everything else up like it's trying to reach heaven. Groceries up, gas up, rent up, fees up. Everything up except the money. Lending Club says over 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, including folks making over 100K. That means it ain't just a poor people problem. It's a this economy wild problem. You ever get paid and immediately feel broke again? Like the money didn't even get a chance to stretch. It walked in, waved, and walked right back out. You open your banking app and the check already looked like it's been through something. Speaking of paychecks, let me talk my talk real quick. Down here in Louisiana, the job scene been moving different. Like the whole state woke up and said, yeah, we outside today. So let me break it down for y'all the way I see it. Louisiana just hit a record high with over 2,026,000 people working. The most the state has ever seen, y'all. That's almost 29,000 more folks clocking in than this time last year. So the job market ain't just rising, it's climbing with purpose. Unemployment holding at 4.3%, steady. But the real action is in the industries that been heating up, y'all. Professional and business services added over 1,100 jobs in a month. Financial activities added 600, education and health services up almost 3,000 year over year. And manufacturing up 1,700. The industrial side is waking up. Now look, all this job growth in Louisiana sound good, but folks with no skills, it hit different. When the state booming, the high-skilled jobs go first. Electricians, welders, CDL drivers, tech workers, that's where the money at. But if you ain't got the training, you feel the squeeze. Low-skilled jobs get crowded fast, wages don't rise the same, and cost of living creeps up. You watching the opportunities, but you're not in the room yet. The good news, Louisiana hurting for workers so bad, they offering free training, fast-track certifications, and paid apprenticeships in trade and tech. It's one of the rare times where somebody with no skills can level up quick if they jump in now. Bottom line, the boom can leave you behind, but it can also be your chance to catch up if you move smart. All right, so that's the real breakdown on these paychecks. Who winning, who's struggling, and who getting left on red by the job market. But look, we ain't done, because if the money funny, the whole world feel different. So let's pack this bag up, zip it tight, and slide into what's really shaking next in the world.
It's either you have it or you don't.
That sounds like excuses to me. I mean, you got to figure it out. If you really have an obsession to figure it out, you will figure it out. Every puzzle is constructed differently. Everybody has a different puzzle, man. You just got to figure out your own puzzle.
How do we keep going when everything around us is going up except the fucking money? Let's talk about that one thing the hood mastered: survival and hustle. Studies show communities with strong social ties have higher resilience during economic crisis. The Urban Institute reports informal support systems, carpooling, childcare swaps, shared meals, reduce financial strain up to 30%. That means the hood been doing something right long before the world caught on, because it takes a village. We've been surviving off strategy. We stretch meals, we share rides, we watch each other kids. Sometimes it depends on whether or not they bad or good. But we hustle, we adapt, we don't just survive, we innovate. The hood been doing mutual aid before nonprofits made it a buzzword. Speaking of buzzwords, this is P Hood Talks, where the streets meet the headlines and we break it down the way real people actually talk. Let's slide into what's been shaking right here in Louisiana because the boot been busy. So first up, Baton Rouge, listen. Blue Bayou Water Park is finally reopening its door. Yeah, you heard me. After being shut down for a minute, they done cleaned it up, tuned it up, and they getting ready to let folks back in for the summer. Now, if you're from BR, you already know Blue Bayou is like a childhood rite of passage. The lazy river, the slides, the funnel, all that. Families been waiting for this. Kids been begging for this. And grown folks out here acting like they ain't been waiting for it too. They got new safety checks, updated equipment, and they trying to make this season one of the smoothest they've ever had in years. So, if you've been looking for a place to cool off, vibe out, or just let the kids burn off that energy, that's your spot. And with this Louisiana heat, yeah, you're gonna need it. Now, let's slide over to something a little more serious. Not my favorite topic of choice, but politics, because it's very important at this time. And don't worry, we keeping it neutral, we keeping it grown, we keeping it in the gray areas, per se. So recently, Louisiana lawmakers been moving on a new redistricting plan. Basically, they're adjusting how the congressional districts are drawn across the state. This ain't about who's right or wrong. This is just what's happening. Quite buffoonery, if you ask me. The Senate pushed forward a bill that would shift the map again, and folks on both sides been talking heavy about what it means for representation, voting power, and how communities get grouped together. Some people say it's overdue, some saying it needs more work. I'm saying it need to stay the fucking way it is, but either way, it's something everybody in Louisiana should keep an eye on, especially with elections coming up. Ain't no predictions, ain't no sides. Just facts. Moves are being made, and it's worth paying attention, so you know how your district might change. So boom, That's your local Louisiana rundown, from water slides reopening to political line being redrawn. The boot always got something going on. Stay locked in, stay informed, and stay cool, literally and figuratively. Let's break this down with no opinions, no persuasion, just what's being reported, what supporters say, and what critics say. All right, let's talk about Governor Jeff Landry. Strictly facts, strictly neutral, strictly what's being reported. No opinions, maybe a little bit of those. No angles, no persuasions, just the breakdown. Reports say Jeff Landry has been one of the most active governors in the country when it comes to pushing new legislation quickly. Supporters says he's decisive and direct. Critics say he moves too fast and doesn't always include enough community input. But either way, he's been busy. One of the biggest things being reported in his focus on criminal justice. Reports say he's pushed for tougher sentencing laws, expanded police power, and rolled back some of the reforms Louisiana passed over the last decade. Supporters say it's about restoring order and reducing crime. Critics argue it increases incarceration rates, especially in black and low-income communities. Guys, he literally working against us here. Education is another area where he's been active. Reports say he supports expanding school vouchers in charter schools. Reporters say it gives parents more choices and helps kids escape falling schools. Critics say it pulls money from public schools and leaves the most vulnerable students behind. On the economic side, reports say he's been pushing tax incentives and attract businesses to Louisiana. Supporters say it brings jobs and investors, but the critics argue it can lead to cuts in service that low-income families rely on, and that the benefits don't always reach the neighborhoods that need them most. Healthcare is another area where his decisions have gotten attention. Reports say he supports stricter Medicaid oversight. Supporters says it reduces fraud and saves the state money. Critics say it makes it harder for low-income families to keep coverage, especially those dealing with paperwork barriers or limited access to providers. And something else being reported, Landry has been vocal about strengthening state authority. Supporters say he's bringing structure and accountability. Critics say it centralizes power and reduces local control. Again, I'm not telling you who's right or wrong. I'm just giving you what's being reported. At the end of the day, Jeff Landry is a governor whose decisions have real impact on everyday people, especially folks in lower income communities. Supporters say his tough focus and trying to fix long-standing issues. Critics say his policies hit vulnerable communities the hardest. That's the full picture, neutral, factual, from the reported sources. So after everything we've covered, groceries, gas, rent, paycheck, survival, and leadership, what does it mean for the hood?
Big Hood Talk, the talk of the hood, and the streets got something to say.
Bruh, Louisiana been moving like the whole state woke up mad, like folks finally said, all right, that's enough. Run me my respect. And right in the middle of all of that pressure, Governor Jeff Landry sitting dead in the center of the spotlight. So here's the rundown. Landry facing a statewide recall push. And this ain't no little neighborhood petition, y'all. This thing's statewide. I mean Lafayette, Jefferson Parish, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, everybody got something to say. Folks been lining up to sign their name because they feel like the decisions coming out of the Capitol ain't lining up with what the people living the struggle actually need. This whole wave kicked off heavy after the legislature approved the new congressional map. The one that cuts Louisiana majority black districts down to one. That move hit the hood like a slap in the face. People felt like political power got snapped from communities that already been fighting to be heard, like we was watered down overnight. And in Lafayette, Over 200 people pulled up same night. The vote dropped. No rally, no flyer, just the word of mouth and frustration. Jefferson Parish, it ain't vibe. Folks lined up outside a restaurant on the West Bank saying they tired of the state stepping in New Orleans' business and tired of the maps that keep shifting power away from the people who need it most. And New Orleans been active. Community groups out here collecting signatures saying Landry's decisions keep showing a pattern that don't match what the hood been asking for. They need 600,000 signatures by October to make this recall real. That's 20% of all registered voters in the whole state. It's a mountain. But we gon' close. And don't forget, the original recall petition came straight out of Baton Rouge. Folk right here in the capital city said they feel like the decisions being made about them, not with them. So let's break it down. Hood style. No sugarcoating, y'all. When they redraw the political map, they redraw your voice. That's who fights for your neighborhood. That's who brings money back to your schools. That's who shows up when your street flooding or your rent jumping. If your district gets sliced up, you might lose a rep who actually understands the struggle, or get one who don't even drive through your side of town unless they lost. That's why the hood paying attention now, because representation ain't just a fancy word. It's resources, it's protection, it's opportunity. And whether this recall wins or not, it already shows one thing. People tired of feeling like the hood always the last to be heard and the first to be affected. And look, if you one of those people thinking about signing that recall petition, hey, there's still time. Organizers collecting signatures all the way through October. They popping up at community events, small businesses, churches, and neighborhood meetups. Just make sure you sign it with an official volunteer. No shortcuts, no bootleggers, all right, y'all? And when it comes time to vote, whether it's the recall or the next election, don't guess where your polling place is, y'all. Just hit the Louisiana Secretary of State's website and use the Go Vote tool. Type your name and address, and it'll tell you exactly where you're supposed to pull up at. Always double check with official sources so you know you straight. All right, that's the rundown on Jeff Landry's situation. No sides, no spin, just what's happening in the street and in the state house, Louisiana, and the hood feeling every week. Next episode, man, episode 3 gonna hit different. We talking about why being outside costs more than ever. Groceries taxes, gas taxes, rent disrespectful, even stepping out of the house feel like I did. We breaking down the hidden deeds of surviving in 2026. Good edition, y'all. Trust me, you won't feel this.
Big Hood Talk, the talk of the hood, and the streets got something to say.